Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about bike safety, kind of. So basically, because of the lockdown, a lot of people have been back on their bikes, obviously. And some of the people out there, and some people watching this video, you haven't been on a bike in years or ages, or it's just been a while, okay? You're a bit rusty on the old two wheels. So I'm going to share some tips that I think will help when you're riding, and just going over like bike safety and how you should ride, and just things when going for a bike ride, because I want people to ride their bikes, but I don't want them to fall off, obviously. So yeah, let's get right into it. So recently, I have actually mentioned it before, that I have actually started wearing a helmet when I'm actually just riding my bike normally. So I wear a full face helmet when I'm riding my race bike, but when I was just going out for bike rides on my BMX or my cruiser, I just wear a hat or something, and sometimes I still do, but on little rides. But most of the time I'm wearing a helmet now, because with some dodgy place stickers on it. But yeah, I'm wearing a helmet because this is, it obviously protects your head. And even though I'd like to say, I ride a lot of bikes, I know what I'm doing, I know how to ride a bike. I'm just going for a normal bike ride, and sometimes I just am. But most of the time I'm wearing this helmet because anything can happen. I can hit a stone, I can go up a curb and the back wheel could fall off, or the front wheel could fall off. I have had that before, my old Harrow. I went up a curb, lift up the front wheel, go up a curb, the wheel just went straight into a wall, and I was like, it's not meant to do that, but okay. So yeah, anything could happen. So I've just got my helmet, wear a helmet, because most of the time I don't even know if this is there anymore. When I've just got it on my head like this, I look even better, I think. But I don't even notice I've got the helmet on most of the time. Once you're in the ride, you don't really notice your helmet's on unless like you catch the straps or something. Most people don't wear a helmet because obviously the straps, you have to have the straps done up to, for it to work, but you have to have it done quite tight. Mine's not even, you get like a finger width in between the chin. And that's fine, it's fine enough. My earphones can't, they catch the sides, but that's the only real problem I have with my helmet. And once you're riding, as I said, you don't even notice it's on. So yeah, it's just, wear a helmet. And another reason people don't wear a helmet is because this foam on the inside, this hard bit here, so there's like a sponge bit in my helmet here, and the labels or whatever, there's a hard foam here. Some people take that out because it's less comfortable, but that's the bit that protects you. So if it's just this plastic on the outside, that's not really doing much, you just got a plastic shell on your head. But this hard foam is actually the impact, it absorbs all the impact on you if you were to hit your head, and that's the main bit of the helmet, really. Most people don't ride it because they just go, oh, I'm just going down the street with my my child, or my son or my daughter. But most of the time, anything can happen, really. That's like I said. So just wear a helmet. Just stick a helmet on your head. You're not even going to notice. So the next thing I want to talk about is, when you're out for a ride and you go, say you're on the road, so you want to be on the correct side. So you want to have the cars coming behind you, because then you're not just going at traffic. And you just want to keep scanning in front of you. So when you're riding, you want to always looking ahead. So you want to be looking what's going on, what's going around. You want to be seeing if there's any like in the road. Mostly in England, the roads aren't great, but most of the ones are smooth. But if there's not, there might be drain covers coming up, so you got to avoid them. Make sure you don't go into another car, or just ride into a parked car. That's quite embarrassing. If there's like a hole in the road, pothole, you don't want to hit these things, obviously, because it's gonna disrupt your ride, really. So yeah, just make sure you're scanning your path, because you know what's coming up. So if you know there's a pothole coming up and you've been on this ride before, you want to check back quick, just little check back to see if a car's coming. And then you can move out and go and avoid it, or just hot bunny up it if you are feeling pretty cool. So with the making sure you're aware of your surroundings and things, most people say don't wear earphones when you're riding, but see, I'm not going to say that, because you can wear your earphones when you're riding. I wear my earphones, I have my earphones in, but I just don't have the music absurdly loud. I just have it enough so I can hear it, but I can also hear everything around me. So like I said in that last example, if you're checking back for a car, you want to hear it first, to be honest. And if you're not looking, you can't see another car coming, or there's a bend or something. You want to be hearing it. So yeah, you have to have some music in, because otherwise the ride's quite, it could get boring if you're not in a very scenic area, right? Yeah, just don't have it absurdly loud for no reason, and you make sure you can hear everything. So all the traffic and the cars are one obstacle, or one hindrance to your ride. but there's also other people riding or walking. So like most people if you're riding on a path, people walking just don't hear you coming, or they'll just be stubborn and just stay where you are. I find that if you have, I've always found if you have a bell on your bike and you just ding it at someone, I find that it's quite very rude. I think because you just go ding, get out of the way. So yeah, I just say like excuse me straight, or like you don't want to shout. You go excuse me, and then they just like jump out of the way. And if you're both not looking, then you're both just going to crash into each other. And that's even more embarrassing if you've two crashed into each other, even though you could have easily avoided it. So with all the families going out riding bikes, and I'd say you could ride with friends, but you just keep a 2 metre distance or whatever. If you're in a single file like line going down the road, you want to be quite vocal about where we're going. If you're leading, you want to be shouting back like left, right, we're going straight on, next, whatever car coming. Or there's something in the road, like because you're scanning the road, just like drain cover, just shout it back, because if you're at the back of the line, you're not going to see it, because if you are that close, you aren't going to be able to see what's coming. Yeah, just a little thing to help your friends out, help your family out, really. So let's have a little talk about brakes, okay? So most bikes, I don't own a bike with a front brake, actually, I don't think, and it's gone quite dark. But most people's bikes that just buy a mountain bike just to ride around in have a front brake. Now in England, that's normally on your right lever. You can obviously test that before you go riding. You don't want to just go into it and then brake with the front lever, go over the bars. Front brake, by the way. You want to see which side's which, depending on where you are, what bike you bought. And the front brake is obviously, I can't use front brake because I don't own a bike with a front brake. But if you are using the front brake, which you don't really need to, because the back brake, so a little demonstration of brakes really. If you use the back brake, you're gonna the worst thing that's gonna happen if you pull that straight up really hard straight away when you're going quick, the back's gonna lock up and you're just gonna slowly come to a stop because it's at the back. If you pull the front brake really hard, you're gonna come at speed and then just brake, the front wheel will lock up, you're gonna fly over the bars because the forks are gonna rotate on the axles of the front wheel and just throw you off. So obviously if you've got a front brake, you want to use it at the same time as your back brake, because if you just use the front brake on its own, obviously you're going to fall off. But the back brake on its own is completely fine. And yeah, just use the back brake, generally. But if there's a bit where you're going particularly fast, you've got to brake sooner, you want to use the back brake, then pull the front brake at the same time. Right, so when you're turning on a bike, it will lean over. Obviously just naturally, because you're turning, it will lean. Even though if you're turning quite sharply, it will still lean a bit. So I see most people, and obviously when I'm racing, that's what I've been taught to do. And it's obviously just common sense now to me that you would just do that. But obviously most people haven't done BMX racing. So when you're going around a corner, you don't want to stop pedalling when you're going around a corner, because obviously when the bike's level like that and you're pedalling, they're far away enough from the floor to not hit it, obviously, because that's how bikes are designed. When you start leaning that over, the pedal starts to get closer and closer if you're still pedalling. Now, when you go around a corner, you don't want to stop pedalling, because your inside pedal will, once it goes down to the floor, if you're turning that much, it will just catch, and then you're going to, the bike's just going to wash out, because it's going to clip the pedal, push you up, and then you're just going to get all messed up and off. The same thing for that, if you're not even pedaling going around the corner, if you've just got the inside pedal down, you're going to clip it if you're turning that much. So you want to keep the inside pedal up while you're turning, so you've got no chance of spinning out because of your pedal, obviously, because it's the furthest away it can be. And then vice versa, if you go in a left, right, a little chicane situation, you want to go inside pedal up, inside pedal, and then inside pedal up on the other side. Right guys, so it is a different day, if you might notice. We're on a different lens, we're on a different microphone because the other one's died. So, back to the video, riding along, if you're going really close to a curb and your pedal's down and you're not level pedals, your pedal's going to clip it and it could throw you right off and put you right off. So just stay quite away from the curbs if you're riding in the road. Right, so when you're riding a bike, you always got to think about your footwear. Now I ride in Vans because they got the waffle grip for the pedals, so that's pretty good. Now some people ride in flip-flops or sandals, and I just think that's not a great idea, because your feet are exposed, and if you crash, it's going to come off worse. So you might clip a toe on the curb or something. It's just not great. So just run in shoes. And my final tip is, when you're riding on grass, if there's, say, someone coming on the path and you're on the path as well, and there's a little grass bit in the UK especially, So guys, those were my top tips for keeping safe when you're out on your new bike or your existing bike or just on a bike, because that's the main thing. I mean, I own 5 bikes, and yeah, so I like bikes, so hopefully all of you like bikes as well. Sounds a bit sad, doesn't it? I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, click the like button down below, and let me know in the comments about the new microphone, because I've used it for a couple videos now, not currently, but the microphone I had on at the start of the video. Let me know in the comments if you like that better, because it sounds a lot better, I think, when I'm editing. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Let me go, let me go. I'm busy blocking out pain with no remedy. And when I'm ready to say it, you're not hearing me. I know that you're in a different place right now, and you're forgetting me, but don't forget.